As a quick precursor to this episode, I would love to invite you to attend the autumn edition of my in-person event, Dare Greatly in the Coaching Arena, which will be held on Friday the 8th of November in Barnes, southwest London. It's a 5-minute walk from Barnes Station, and there's also a free car parking place on site. So it's the best of both worlds. We will be preparing and planning for your best ever 2025, and you will leave with that vision and strategy for your next 12 months with a newfound sense of connection and focus. We will be harvesting your present and planting the seeds for a profitable and joyful 2025, allowing your business goals to bloom with ease. I'm very excited to be bringing the warmth of the season and all of those beautiful colours and everything we can learn from shedding what no longer serves us and preparing for spring. Embrace the seasons of change and join me on 8th of November to Dare Greatly in the Coaching Arena. Do not worry if you don't know anyone. I will ensure that you feel welcome from the moment you arrive until the moment you leave. I cannot wait to see you there, and grab the link now in the show notes. Hello and welcome to Women in the Coaching Arena podcast. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Lott, a business mentor and ICF accredited coach, and I help coaches to build brilliant businesses. I know that when you prepare to enter the arena, there is fear, self-doubt, comparison, anxiety, uncertainty. You can tend to armor up and protect yourself from vulnerability. In this podcast, I'll be sharing honest, not hype, practical and emotional tools to support you to make the difference that you're here for. Dare greatly, you belong in this arena. Hello, welcome to episode 61 of Women in the Coaching Arena. I am so glad you are here. Today I'm talking about the overlooked profit multiplier, and this is how to create your own signature coaching framework. I also do a deep dive into this in episode 10, so you can feel free to look back into that one. Today I'm going to expand a little bit further on it. Having gone through this process myself and continuously developing my own framework, I can't overstate how much of a game changer it has been and how it can really allow you to become a niche of one in your industry, even if it's a really crowded industry like my particular niche is. Let's start with 3 reasons why you might want to do this. First reason is it allows you to command higher rates. Selling a coaching session or a bunch of 6 or 8 or 10 coaching sessions still makes it really, really hard for you to charge a good rate, because people can't help but think, well, that's a lot of money for a conversation or for an hour of your time, especially if perhaps they are working within an organisation and they might think of their own hourly rate, which is usually not as high as 100 an hour, 200 an hour, 300 an hour, whatever you may be charging. Most people, if they break down their hourly rate, it is nowhere near that rate. And that is because they can work 8 hours a day, they get holiday pay, they get pension, they get all the things. But when they are not self-employed, they don't understand that you can't just work 8 hours a day doing coaching. When would you ever get time for your marketing? When would you get time to recharge? So it's a whole different ball game, but the average person doesn't know that, which is why we want to move away from pricing by the hour. When you can paint the picture of a system and a result and a methodology that you will use to help them get there, it moves them away from comparing your prices by the hour. And everything I do in my work with my clients is all about how we can package this up so people cannot pull apart your offer and compare it to an hourly price, because that is going to take away from the value of your program. And they'll only focus on that hourly rate. So for example, if people buy my program, there is no way they can break it down per hour. Like I can't break it down per hour, because it's a supportive process that I will use to help people to grow their business. There are so many different elements that it's completely impossible for people to break it down by the hour. So all my potential clients can realistically do is think, is this worth it for me? Do I think I'm going to earn that money back in my business to be able to fund this program? And that is what you want your clients to think too. Is it going to be worth it for me to get a job that I love for £1,000, say, which might be your program price? Is it going to be worth it for me to be able to be an amazing leader and lead my team for 1,000, 2,000, whatever your price is? So what we want them to think is that value, that this process of yours is going to change in their life. Is that worth it for this value? Our second reason why this really helps you in your business is because it streamlines and scales your delivery. You might not be looking to scale right now, but even so, this is extremely relevant. But if you are looking to earn more money in less time, then having a signature framework prevents you from having to reinvent the wheel with each new client that you take on. It will help you to have an established and systematic process that you move people through. All of your lessons, exercises, and tools will be documented in that step-by-step journey. And then when you are ready to perhaps move to group or an online program, you've already tested your program multiple times with one-to-one clients. Reason 3 that you might like your own signature framework is because it elevates your expertise and authority. Showing to your clients that you have thought through a process to get them from A to B will help them to see you as someone who knows the way and is able to lead them there. And if you are worrying about coaching being non-directive and the client leading the way, then this is why we niche down, because then you have chosen that particular client who wants that particular goal. And then you have now helped several people on their way to that goal. So just like if you are a leadership coach, you will know to be a great leader, you might want coaching skills, you might want the ability to speak up, you might want to know how to have difficult conversations. You will start to notice with whichever client you go for as your ideal client, you will notice patterns come up. So now we know why you might want to create your own signature framework. Let's take you into a 5-step framework creation process. Our first step, as I alluded to, is get hyper-focused on your niche. I have a full episode on this, episode 14, if you want to dig further into niching. The first foundational step that you need clarity on before you can create your own signature program is a really specific niche, transformation, and the outcome that you will focus your framework around. Some examples of this are transitioning out of corporate and building a successful freelance career, increasing confidence and overcoming social anxiety, starting a business and getting your first paying clients. Whatever your area of expertise, get hyper-focused. And this is easier said than done. I know it's really, really hard for coaches to really get clear on their niche. And lots of it is around hedging their bets and not wanting to block anyone off and not wanting to create a really tiny market. And I really do get all of the feelings. I have helped many, many people with this. And generally, nearly all of my clients get clear on their niche in our first onboarding call. Because again, this is the benefit of a signature framework and the benefit of niching, that I have done this several times before. So I know how to help people to get that clarity quickly. Once you have your clear niche, our step 2 is to map out that transformational journey that you will take your clients on. For example, if you are a weight loss coach, your phases could look like mindset reprogramming around their motivators, reshaping their dietary habits and creating a nutritional plan, building exercise into their lifestyle, and then maybe accountability to make it sustainable. So you could have 4 phases to your program. If it's defining a business, which is what I do, my first phase is to build your business. Our second phase is to attract clients into your business. And our third phase is to deliver an amazing service. So think through a logical step-by-step process for your ideal client. Usually anywhere between around 3 and 6 phases or steps is good to anchor in that framework. Step 3 in our process is to add your unique methodologies and models. So now you have a rough idea of how you're going to get your client from A to B. It's time to start innovating and thinking about why your approach is different. There are many people out there doing the same thing as you are doing. How can you think about your own unique way of doing it? So, for example, when I talk about niching, I talk about the front door and back door framework. So, in other words, we need to focus on the front door, which is the clients I just want to have a certain thing. And then when they are in the front door, we talk about the back door stuff, which is the mindset, the confidence, all of the things they actually need to achieve their goal. But we must always focus on the front door first. So there are many, many people talking about niching, but that is my unique framework, my unique way of expressing it, which really helps people get the idea. And I've had so many clients and people I don't know who've listened to this podcast immediately say, yeah, I know I'm completely that's all backdoor stuff. I really get it. I just can't think what their front door is. So I've managed to create my own unique way of niching. So have a think for you, what is your special sauce that takes it from a generic process that everyone is doing, like, for example, figuring out their strengths or their values, and how can you do this slightly differently that they can't get anywhere else? Your unique signature framework. When I was doing career coaching, it was that rewire phase. People loved that name. They loved the idea of it. Whereas other coaches may have been talking about limiting beliefs and values and all of the things, I had managed to package it up into a rewire phase of my program. Okay, so now you have been through step 1, which was niching, step 2, which was mapping out your transformational journey, step 3, which was adding your unique methodologies and models. So let's talk about step 4, which is to systemize and create supporting materials. This is when you are going to get more streamlines and have worksheets or things like a DISC assessments, like what is your process, so you can smoothly deliver this repeatedly. This doesn't mean you need to go off and record loads of recorded content. And I think people that come to work with me immediately panic that they are meant to have a portal with videos and worksheets and a community and all of the things. And you really, really don't. When I started out and I was doing career coaching, I literally had nothing. I had my framework, but I just used to rock up on the call and say, hey, how are you doing? Today we're due to be outlining your strengths, but what's going on for you today? And then we would have a normal coaching session where maybe I might pick out their strengths and figure out ways of helping them identify it. But it doesn't mean it needs to be rigid. It doesn't need to be ultra fancy. Please don't underestimate how valuable your time and your coaching skills are. Things like worksheets and videos nowhere near come close to that time. It's like in my program, the value is not in the recorded content of the niching, the marketing, all of the things that, yes, you do need to do and it's useful. The value in my program is having my time to help you niche in 30 seconds, to help you to actually take that action this week and see something in a whole new light. Our final step 5 is to map this out into your core offerings. So think about how you want to deliver this. Is it going to be as a high ticket coaching program? Is it a digital course, a book, a mastermind, a workshop, a done for you service? The best thing about having a methodology is there are so many ways to bring it into your business. Now that you have your powerful intellectual property and a system built out, you have so many options available to you beyond just one-to-one hours. This is what I want to shout from the rooftops when you build your business. You often will want several streams of income. The ICF found that 40% of a coach's income comes from one-to-one coaching, so 60% comes from other means. So what I do with my clients is build a full business of varying different things, because often Despite many people wanting to just sitting in a room doing one-to-one coaching, it's usually not always feasible to do that without bringing in some other aspects into your business. It also makes it exciting for you and helps to position you as an authority in your field. So I love that it's such a creative thing, being an entrepreneur, having a business. There are so many different ways you can do this. So there is our step-by-step process for turning your expertise into a signature coaching framework. This is one of the most impactful things you can do in your business. I will reiterate those steps. So firstly, step 1, get a hyper-focused niche. Step 2, map out the transformational journey. Step 3, add your unique methodologies and models. Step 4 was to systemize and create supporting materials as required. And step 5, map this out into your core offerings and how you want to bring this into your business. So I hope that was super helpful. If you have been feeling stuck and you want help to make this happen, this is what I do in my signature coaching program, The Business of Coaching. I work with qualified coaches to help them to stand out as the go-to coach in their niche, because that is what is required in this market to be able to have a sustainable business. Even if you're thinking, I don't need many clients, I just need a few, you will still need to build a business. There is no shortcuts here. You need to commit to going all in and becoming the go-to person in your niche, and commit to the creativity, the excitement, the resilience of becoming an entrepreneur who builds an amazing business that impacts lives and makes a massive difference. So if you are interested in my help, then you will find the details of the Business of Coaching program in the show notes. I would love to meet you. And like I say at the end of every episode, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Women in the Coaching Arena. I have a mass of free resources on my website, joannalottcoaching.com. That's Joanna with an A and Lott with 2 T's, joannalottcoaching.com. And I'll also put links in the show notes below. Let me know if you found this episode useful, share it with a friend, and leave me a review, and I will personally thank you for that. Remember to trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Get into the arena, dare greatly, and try.